Fitness and Finance, episode 10.
You have the desire, information, and understanding, but are still missing the steps to reach success. Welcome to Fitness and Finance, your guide to maximizing all areas of health and wealth to give you the quality of life you deserve. Brought to you by your host, Eric Smith.
Welcome back. Today is Friday, Freestyle Friday, just me and you. And just want to share a couple thoughts, something that I've been asked a few different times over the course of my career. But then also I was in a training this past Saturday, and someone asked the question of, if you have debt, whether it's student loan debt, maybe it's some credit card debt, should you still invest and pay yourself first and all that? And so it's an interesting question. And it made me really think about it, because people have asked me that over the years, especially people that I know that do have student loan debt. And they're just wondering, does it make sense to pay off the debt first in order to pay off the debt first, then invest? And so a lot of times people are not really sure, because maybe they're paying 5, 6, 7% on their student loans, maybe less depending on when you got your loans. But it's also interesting because it's like, okay, can I potentially earn more on my investment than I'm paying on the interest on my debt? So one of the things we have to look at a couple of different things: what those interest rates are on those different debts. And, the best way to get out of those, obviously, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan for pretty much everything that we do in order to be successful when it comes to our fitness, when it comes to our finances, health, everything. So people plan their vacations. I was having a conversation with someone about this yesterday. Like, people will spend hours, days, putting everything into a plan for their vacation. They're like, okay, we're gonna stay at this place for 3 days. We're going to eat at these restaurants. We're going to visit these attractions, spend this much time at these attractions on these days and these days and these days. We're going to spend this amount of time visiting family, one day here, one day there, whatever the case may be. Even the wedding, like, people plan their weddings down to the minute of every single detail. The food, the music, the entry, the flower girls, everything. When they walk down the aisle at the precise minute, second, when they change the music, all of those different things. And so when it comes to our debts, and when it comes to investing, and it comes to the days that we want to no longer have to worry about working for money, we have to plan those too. Those are important. So back to the original question of, should I pay off my debt? Should I invest? Now, in order to be successful at anything, we have to create habits. So, and it doesn't even matter the amount. Like, we can just start small, because like anything else, once we build a habit, we build that confidence. We build a habit, it becomes something that's natural to us. So let's say someone has a large amount of credit card debt, and credit card, as we know, interest rates on credit cards could be 15, 16, upwards of 20%, if not more. So, we talked previously about the rule of 72 in past episode. So if you're unfamiliar, if this is your first time here, obviously welcome. Appreciate you listening and taking the time. But go back, and there's an episode talking about compound interest in the rule of 72, where I talk about that and give an example. That is episode 6, I believe. So you want to go back and listen to that, and gives an example if, we're doubling and money working for us or against us, how that would look in the future. So when we look at that, okay, say we're paying like 20% on our credit card, it does make sense to pay that off before, because we don't want that debt to keep piling up and compounding, as we have talked about before. But we do want to start the habit of investing and paying ourselves first for a couple of different reasons. For one, who else is going to pay those? Who else can pay those bills, right? Especially if we don't have anyone that's just giving us money. If we are responsible for paying those bills, paying the debt, paying the mortgage, paying the rent, food, all of that, well, we're the most important person. So we need to pay ourselves first before we pay these other places. Like, it should be kind of a fact, or I don't know if common sense is the right term to use, but if we think about it, if I am the one that's going to be paying all these other bills, I should pay myself first, because I'm more important than these other companies. So if I pay myself first, then I know that I'm taken care of. And I've used the analogy, and I'll continue to use it every single day. It's like you get on a plane and they say, put your mask on first before you put the mask on someone else, before you assist someone else. Well, most of these companies that we may owe debt to, obviously we may not necessarily care about as much as we do our own family, especially even ourselves. So it should make sense for us to pay ourselves before we pay these other companies. We pay ourselves first, and then what's left over, we pay everyone else. And it doesn't even matter the amount, especially if we're in a difficult situation where we're paying a lot of debt, credit card, student loan, all of that, maybe car loan, whatever it is. We just want to pay ourselves first, take care of ourselves before we take care of someone else. So it could be something as little as $5, like $2 a day, like $1 a day, whatever it is, $1 a day, that's $30 a month. We can start somewhere to build that habit. So most people, they typically have something that they're paying that doesn't necessarily serve them. It's a habit that could be taking away from their ability to pay themselves. And it could also be an expensive habit that's damaging their health. So tying everything in with health and finances, because they all mesh together. They're not one that's completely separate from the other. Everything works together, and it should be cohesive. So if we think about that, right? Let's say someone smokes cigarettes. So I don't know how much cigarettes cost, but let's say someone smokes a pack a day. So if they smoke a pack a day, maybe it's $5. I don't know. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please let me know. But if you smoke a pack a day, that's $5 a day. So $5 a day, that's $150 a month. So $150 a month, what do you think is more valuable? Paying ourselves or buying those cigarettes where the health, they're damaging our health? It's an expensive habit. It's a habit, something that we do, whether it's good or whether it's bad, it's a habit. We're paying the cigarette company $150 a month when we could be paying ourselves that $150 a month. And because of that, we're going to have most likely some health issues in the future as a result of that habit. Where if we're changing our lifestyle, we're paying ourselves and we're having better health just because of that decision to change. And I know smoking is addictive because of nicotine. So, and that's a whole different story, and then also maybe like Eric, you know what, I don't smoke. Well, maybe you go to Starbucks. Maybe you spend, $5 a day on Starbucks, and you do that for 5 days. Let's say you do that 5 days out of the week because you don't do that on the weekend. So $5 a day, that's $25 a week. That's $100 a month. So that $100 could be used to pay ourselves as opposed to Howard Schultz and everyone else. So not to say anything bad about him. Obviously, great business, great model. People love their coffee. People swear by it. They love the experience. You go in there and you sit down and you use the Wi-Fi and all that good stuff. Great experience. And then typically on that note, people usually don't spend, they just don't buy one thing there. Maybe they'll buy something to eat, maybe a little sandwich, maybe a little cookie, maybe a Danish, whatever it is. Or if they're buying it for someone else, because if they're meeting someone there, maybe they're buying for someone else. Some people I do know and have come across, they go to Starbucks multiple times a day. So if that's $10 a day, that's $50 a week, that's $200 a month. Could be anything else. My point is that we all have those habits that aren't necessarily serving us. So there's a way to cut those things out, or maybe not necessarily cut them out, but let's limit them. Instead of going to Starbucks every single day and spending, $100 a month, let's say we cut that in half and still go maybe 2.5 or 2 to 3 times a week. Some weeks you go twice a week, some weeks you go 3 times a week. So, and pay $50 a month. And then that $50 we can use to pay ourselves. So there's always ways, like if we really value ourselves and where we want to be in the future to set us up for financial success and health success, then we'll make that decision. It's just the value. If we place the value on it, we'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's in everything in life. It's like people tell stories. If let's say you're in a meeting, you're an environment where you're there, someone's speaking, something like that. Maybe you're at work and then you get the call, like, your kid's in the hospital, you got to go. You don't sit there and kind of debate and be like, oh, can I ask? Can I go? Whatever. Especially if they've been in an accident and you don't know if they're okay. You're going to get up and leave because of the value. This is the value that you place on the life of a loved one. So the same thing has to go when the value of ourselves and taking care of ourselves financially, because the financial stress leads to all the health issues as well. If we're stressed out because of we don't have enough money, we're not making enough money, we got bills that are so high, that's going to impact our health too. So if we decide, we're like, you know what, I'm going to make that decision to pay myself first, that'll give people a little bit of a peace of mind and break, say, you know what, this is for the future. It's also that long-term thinking, because it's like, this is going to take care of myself. Maybe it's going to take care of my family, whatever it is. It's just so important to really think that way, because we are in, obviously, consumerism is huge here in the States. For those of you listening in the States, maybe it's pretty high or rising if you are, in Europe or, maybe Asia or maybe Australia, wherever you are. Consumerism is most likely increasing. I don't see it decreasing. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Reach out to me, say, Eric, you know what? You're wrong, man. Let me know. So I say this all to say, if we make the decision to not spend as much on other things that don't necessarily serve us, and we take care of ourselves and we take care of who we are and our family, and we save, then that's going to set us up in the future. That's why sometimes you see people that work, they have to go back to work. They didn't retire with enough money to take care of themselves, especially because people are living longer, but they're also living sicker. So if we're living sicker and living longer, expenses come up. Now, if we take care of ourselves financially, then if, we do get sick for whatever reason, we can take care of it and not have to worry about that and rely on other people, whether it's our other family members adding more stress to their lives because we didn't take care of ourselves. And it happens. It's what many people have to deal with these days. And it's not the nicest topic to talk about, but it's important. We need to really think about where we are and the direction that we are headed. If we are going the wrong direction and we continue to push the gas, that's not going to help. That's only going to make things worse. So we need to sometimes pull off to the side of the road, kind of evaluate, okay, am I really headed in the right direction where I want to be financially? Am I going to where I don't have to worry about stressing out over money? Am I headed to where I know that I can stop one day working for money? Maybe I love what I do. No problem. If you imagine this, you love what you do, and then you never have to worry about money because you're set up. So that's like a win-win-win. It's a win-win situation because it takes stress out of it reduces the stress. It doesn't take the stress out of your lives, but it reduces the stress. So just thought I'd share that with you all today. Some thoughts that come up. I know you're thinking about your Friday, and a lot of people spend a lot of money on their weekends. They're like, Friday, I'm going out. I'm going to the bar. Maybe have one less drink at the bar than you usually have, and then put that money away. Or maybe have 2 less drinks. Or maybe don't eat as much dessert, or maybe split a dessert with someone when you normally would have a dessert, and then put that money away. Like, these little things add up. Imagine doing that every single week of every single month of every single year, and what that adds up to. So think about those little things. We go somewhere, we go on vacation, or we want to go out with the family and have a good time, which is great. It's all about having great times with the family and making memories. But then we have to think about, okay, let's not necessarily do as much. We can still have a great time. But if we just make a slight adjustment that's going to help us long-term, then in the end, we can go and have more memories than we could have had, more and better quality memories. Because a lot of times people, they come back from their vacation and they end up being more stressed out because they're like, I got to go back to work. I got to pay for that vacation I just took. I got to make up for that. So that's a couple of things to think about. Pay yourself first. Yes, we still want to pay our debts, but we still want to pay ourselves even if we have some credit card debt, some student loan debt, some car loan debt, all of that stuff. Because we are the most important people in our lives, if you really think about it. Who's more important than you? People will say their kids. Yeah, but if you're not there to take care of your kids because you didn't take care of yourself, then what? What are you saying? So have a great Friday. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you back Monday for a great interview, and then again next Friday. So appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen. And if anything resonated with you, if you're like, that made me think of things in a different way, please share it with someone. Please let me know. I really want to know what you got out of it, what you really liked. Maybe if you disagree with me, let me know anyway. Say like, Eric, you know what? You're wrong. I just want to pay off my debt and then not have to worry about that. Okay, let me know too. I really want to understand where you're coming from, your point of view, because like I keep saying, it's a 2-way street. It's not one way, So I really love to share, especially if you're listening. I really value every single one of you. And I appreciate you listening, taking the time, because you can listen to other things, but you're here. So when you get a chance, please leave a rating and review and subscribe. So when the next episodes come out, you already know it comes into your app, whether it's on iTunes, whether you're on Spotify, whatever the case may be. Or if you don't have either platform, just go to fitnessinfinance.com. So www.fitnessinfinance.com, and just set a time to talk there on my calendar, or reach out to me on Instagram. Tag me in your Instagram story at Eric Eugene Smith. So that's ErikEugene Smith, Smith. Reach out to me on Facebook as well at Eric Smith. So ErikSmith. I'm also on LinkedIn. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, Twitter at 91926. If you want to know what that means, reach out to me and I'll let you know what that really means. So have a great day. I will talk with you soon.